In this upcoming video, we'll go over some of the details and features on the Atowak Tarantula. The one that I received is the blue model. Here's a couple photos so you can kind of look at it close up, and then I'll start a video. Thought we'd do a little up close visual on the watch. It's tough to get the it up close and in focus, especially with the backlighting. You can see the ceiling cans and the reflections make it kind of difficult to get a good view on this. But the detailing on the front is it's really awesome, as is the action here on the movement. Is so fun to watch this thing go around. You'll see you tell the time on the bottom, if you're familiar with the Wandering Hours complication. That tells you the hour, and then there's the minute track on the bottom, and as it moves along, the next unit, or next hand rather, comes into rotation and starts displaying. And then you'll see what happens is the previous hand here will rotate into position. So right now it's at a 3, and as the 5 comes up, the 3 rotates into a 6 to be the next one. Up here, there's a 4, and you'll see as the 6 draws close to beginning, the 4 will rotate into a 7. So that's kind of the mechanism of how this Wandering Hours works, and it's really cool. There's a second hand you can see there. That's just to let you know that the movement is working. Obviously, you can't track the seconds on there. It's impossible to see, but it's anodized blue. Frankly, my one complaint about this watch is I wish there would have been a little more color in the blue. Like the red one had red numbers. The number blocks were red, as well as the minute track on the bottom. But for the blue one, everything was black inside except for the seconds hand. Would have been nice to have the minute track either be blue, or maybe the number blocks be blue, or maybe the cobweb in the back be blue. I don't know, some pop of color. This is sort of a little bit dull, even though the execution is very nice. Compared to their other watch, like the Cobra, this is much more wearable. The Cobra was a joke. I mean, that thing was like 17 millimeters high. It was a neat complication, but a stupid looking case, in my opinion. And the Ettore, which I also have, it's not as cool of a complication. It's a slim and it's a comfortable wear, but it's just missing this level of execution on the complication, which this is much closer to something like an Urwerk, whereas the Ettore complication is a little more sort of, I don't know, pedestrian, I suppose. So yeah, the case is really nice. It's finished in a mix of brushed and polished. You can see there's a nice polish line along. Everything else is brushed. You've got a exhibition case back in there. Tough to get a look at it, but it's finished nicely. You know, I mean, it's got some mechanical polishing lines on there and stuff. It looks good. I don't know. I mean, it's a Miyota movement, which is a workhorse movement. It's decent, but it's not great. But, you know, it is what it is. And then, of course, the deployment clasp. I suppose one more small complaint would be on the deployment clasp. It is awfully thick here, right? So when it wears up against your wrist, this thing is protruding pretty far. They could have made this apparatus a little bit smaller and sleeker. It would have been a little more fitting, because when you put the watch on, get my arm under here, hold on. You put the watch on, this thing here sticks out a good bit, right? If it was slimmer, it'd be sort of a more comfortable wear under your shirt cuff or whatever. But, you know, I can't rotate my wrist around that way. But you can see it's pretty good looking. Anyways, for a Wandering Hour complication at the sub $2,000 price mark, this is really the only game in town. It's far superior to any of the other ones that I've looked at. Just the execution and the way they have those rotating cylinders, really, this is as close to an Urwerk as you can get. And even a used Urwerk, the very cheapest ones, I mean, I haven't seen anything trade at, sub $50,000. So when you compare one of these brand new to a, for $2,000 to an Urwerk well used for between $50,000 and $75,000, it really is no contest. This is really the one to get. So hope you enjoyed the video.